So as many of you know, at the end of last week, the president announced that he sees the church as essential and called for churches to be open. And so we agree wholeheartedly that the church is essential. And that's why we have been open the whole time. People have asked, when are you going to reopen the church? Well, the church has never closed. We have worshiped every Sunday throughout this pandemic. We have had ongoing ministry for children, ongoing ministry for youth. Our small groups continue to meet. Our food pantry is thriving. We continue to meet in this time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we've never stopped praying, even expanding our prayer ministry. Over 160 people are currently on that prayer list. And if you'd like to be added to our prayer team, you can email Heather Mandela at heather@meethope.org, and our host can help you with that information. I believe Heather is even one of our hosts, so she can help you with that as well.
Yep.
And so we want to increase that prayer team as well. For us here in New Jersey, the COVID-19 virus has been particularly hard. Over 150,000 confirmed cases in New Jersey. In Camden and Burlington counties where we live, there have been over 10,000 confirmed cases and over 500 deaths. But what is most disturbing with this virus is its impact on vulnerable populations. And so, unfortunately, the things that we love most about being in this building are among the most likely to spread the virus. I mean, large gatherings of people in close proximity is one of those things. And then other things that we do, like handshaking and hugging and singing, and we like to see kids huddled together, playing together in groups. These are the things that we miss about being together. But these are also the same things that spread the virus.
Yeah, the place is just not the same. So we're in the building these Sundays, and it's not the same place without folks coming in. And I miss your faces. I miss the conversations that we're having, that we would have on a regular basis, hearing your stories and laughing, and all of that stuff we feel that loss for sure. But because of our desire to keep people healthy and safe, we're saying that we don't anticipate having worship services in our building throughout the summer. So unless there's some significant changes that the healthcare community lets us know about, we're wanting you to know that we anticipate that we'll be doing online worship services throughout the summer. So through the end of August, we'll be worshiping in this way.
Yeah, and some churches are opening, and some churches you'll hear about will be opening, but they're opening with very tight restrictions. So for instance, there's a very limited number of people allowed in the building, or there's a percentage of the building capacity that they're following. There's temperature checks at the door. I've heard that some churches are instituting masks for everybody. No kids ministry, because kids don't social distance very well. No bathrooms facilities, because that's another difficulty. And the seating would be socially distanced. And so those things are all different for us.
Yeah, out on our sign and on all of our literature and really embodied in the DNA of this church is the phrase, "We welcome everyone." We welcome everyone. And so in order to meet together here in this space, we couldn't honor that aspect of who we are. What we would be saying is that only a very limited number of people would be able to come, not including children, not including those who have respiratory issues, not including those who are older. In fact, I'm not sure I could come.
I didn't say that either.
That's not who we are. That's not what worship is about for us. To say that only the healthiest among us could be gathered here just doesn't feel right to me. And so we will, however, having said that, we will, however, continue to remain open as we have this whole time. And so we've got some exciting things planned for the summer. The online campus idea that Pastor Rick has been leading, we got some ideas for that.
Yeah, we're going to continue worshiping every Sunday like we are, but we're also looking at the possibility of adding additional time slots. So not just having a 10:30 worship time, but maybe having an earlier worship time or even a later worship time as well, so that it'll fit into your schedules depending on when you work or when other things are going on in life on weekends, because that we know that happens.
So stay tuned on that. We have a modified VBS that is being planned out. We have a modified arts program. Pastor Steve and the worship team are planning a couple of events here at the church in the parking lot. So the first one is in July, so stay tuned for that information. We're also talking about smaller gatherings in people's backyards where we could socially distance and do some worship together. We're also talking about, for those of you who have friends that you're comfortable inviting over, to have watch parties. So you can invite some friends over to your place, have a watch party where you watch the service live, and then maybe have a barbecue or something like that together.
Yeah, our food pantry will continue to serve the many families who are struggling and underprivileged, and that ministry has just exploded here, and it's exciting to see.
So, yeah, I want you to know, as the founding pastor of this church, I've been here the whole run. I have never been more proud of this congregation than I have been in this season. The ways that you have stepped up to be part of our prayer team, to be part of our care ministry, to be part of our food pantry ministry, to just reach out and care for those folks around you that you know. I've seen and heard those stories, and I am so blessed by them, humbled by them, and so proud to be the pastor of this church. In closing on this, the founder of the Methodist Church, John Wesley, had 3 basic rules for Methodists: do no harm, do good, stay in love with God. And I believe in this season, by the ways that we have been responding, that we are honoring all 3 of those rules. May God richly bless you and have a great week.